Hey sewing friends, welcome to Hashtag Friday Sews. So this week I've been working on my PhD, my projects half done. And I gotta tell you, if you guys have any of your PhDs or UFOs or whatever you wanna call them, hidden away in a drawer or in a closet, if you can, pull one out. Pull one out and power through whatever it is that made you put it aside. Because I did that this week, and I got to tell you, it gave me such a feeling of satisfaction and confidence that it's something I just want to share with you guys. It was kind of hard to get started, but like with anything, well, I don't know how you are, but with me, it's hard for me to start. But once I get started, I realize it's not as bad as I thought it was, and it was pretty easy to power through and finish a couple of these things. So the first thing that I finished was the Alba Skirt, which is from the Sew Over It Summer Dreamin' ebook. And I had bought this ebook months ago, maybe a year ago, I think. And I had started making this Alba Skirt, which is just a very simple wrap skirt with this viscose, this really pretty viscose that I had from Lady McElroy. And I don't know what came over me, but I thought it was a good idea to add a lining to this skirt, which is a good idea. But I thought I would use this crepe de chine as my lining. And as you can see, these two materials, these two fabrics just don't work together. And even though it was a lining, you could still see it from the back side because it is a wrap skirt that kind of angles down. So it, I'll put a picture of what the skirt is, and you can see that you can sometimes see the underneath. And I just didn't like how this was working out. And then what happened too is the lining, this part, because a lot of it is cut on the bias, or part of it's cut on the bias because it is kind of this kind of wrap skirt, this was starting to hang down lower than the skirt. So it just was not working for me. And I set it aside and I wasn't sure what to do. And I think I decided that I was going to definitely undo, take out the lining and add a different lining. But it was kind of a little daunting because I had serged everything together. So I had the skirt and then the lining and then the waistband, serged here and then folded over, and then I had like stitched in the ditch, which, by the way, I don't like stitch in the ditch. I don't think I'm ever going to do that. I am just going to hand sew, what is it, the cross stitch or slip stitch, the slip stitch, all that, because I just don't like stitch in the ditch, but I digress. So anyhow, I went ahead and tackled this just one step at a time, because I don't know how you are, but sometimes I find this is what I've done in my professional career and lots of times in my personal life. I sometimes get overwhelmed thinking of the big picture, thinking I can never get it done, or it just scares me. So I break it down into little doable parts. So the first thing I did with this, rather than think about fixing it, I just said, I'm going to unpick the waistband. That's all I'm going to do. And that's all I did. The first night, I just picked it up, and it was serged, and I unpicked, well, first I had to unpick the stitch in the ditch so that I could open up the lining. And then I unpicked the serging that had the three pieces together, the skirt, the lining, and then the waistband that went over it. And after all that, I just left it on my sewing table and went about my day, or probably went to bed or something, and just left it there. Then the next day I came out and I was looking at it, and I thought, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to line this with? And I do have a lot of this China silk that I'd got from Mood Fabric in my stash, just for lining purposes. I have it in lots of colors, and it's come in handy. I think I had a coupon and it was on sale or something, so I just bought several different colors. And although I don't think the white is the best color for it, it was the best color that I had. And I went ahead, so the next night I just went ahead and cut out the lining, and sewed the 3 pieces together. And again, I just left it at that. I didn't think about putting it together or anything like that. And I wanted it to hang to make sure that I didn't have the lining fall down. And then I eventually got it all together, put it together, and here is my skirt, my Alba skirt. Try and pop a picture of me wearing it. And I felt so good about finishing it that, and this is just a wrap skirt. So you basically, have this come through. There's a little hole here, wraps around, and then this comes over and it wraps around and you tie it. But I didn't like the idea of it just being held by the tie, because as the day wears on and you're sitting down, the tie can loosen, the waistband can stretch. So what I did then is I added these hooks and eyes, so that when I put the skirt on, this one hooks here, and then over here on this side, I have this hook, a hook and eye, so that the skirt stays on without having to tie it. So I feel that it's not going to, get looser during the day and loosen up as I sit down and get up and walk around. So it stays on, and then I just go ahead and tie it. And then I was actually quite pleased with myself too, because here's the hook on this side, but you don't see any stitching. Same with the eye. Here's the eye here, but you don't see any stitching on the other side. And that was another benefit too that I got from finishing my project half done, is it gave me a sense of accomplishment. It gave me some confidence, but then it also gave me the opportunity to practice some sewing skills, mainly my hand stitching that I hadn't been using lately. So again, if you have a hankering, I really do think that it would do you good to go find a project that for whatever reason you set aside, and then just try and power through and do what it takes to get it finished. So anyhow, this is my Alba skirt. And then I had the lining, and I wasn't sure what to do with the lining. I think one of the, when I first showed you the Alba skirt, and I had mentioned how I don't like the lining, I think one person left in the comment to, make it reversible, or is that right? Reversible, so I could wear it both ways. And I like the idea of being able to use this material for a skirt, but I didn't like the idea of it being reversible, because I just didn't like the idea of this showing, and then if I were to reverse it, have the green showing, because the materials just don't go together. So I have this lining, and what I'm thinking of doing, give me your opinion, because this is kind of loud. I mean, don't you think it's kind of loud? I don't even know why. Well, I do know why I bought this. It was before I really knew what style I was, what kind of fabrics that I liked. I just knew that I needed to add color to my wardrobe, because I was kind of stuck wearing, basically all my pants were yoga pants, workout pants, just the black leggings. So I wanted to add some color to my wardrobe. So I bought a bunch of fabric that just had color to it, not realizing that the colors may not be my colors. So anyhow, I'm sort of stuck with this. So I'm thinking I could line it, again, with this nice silk. I have it in a bright pink, which I think would work, and take away the see-throughness. Or a better one might be this. This I think might match more closely to the greenish, or the yellowish that's behind there. And then I could cut out a waistband and finish this skirt. And then I thought that I could pair it with, remember my tank tops that I was making? This is the Love Notions summer basics tank top. Now it's not a perfect match as far as the pink goes, and it looks better in person than it does on camera as far as the pink matching. But I think that this tank top with this as a wrap skirt would work well enough for me to wear in the summer on one of our really hot summer days, to maybe go out to get a burger with my husband on a Saturday, or maybe to walk with, we like to go to the nursery lots of times and walk around and look at the plants. I think it might work. So I think I might try and make something out of the lining so that this just doesn't kind of sit there and go to waste. So moving on, I'm kind of motivated to get a lot more of these projects done. And as I said, I came across this as I was cleaning my work room, my sewing room. And then another project that I came across, and you guys might remember this, was this Mariana jacket. This is a free pattern from Online-Fabric Store. I think they're known for their linen. And this is actually a linen viscose that I had. And I had started making this jacket. It's kind of just a boxy jacket. And at the time, I thought it looked very much like a lab coat. And I think it was because I was probably making it maybe late in the year, I think. I'm not sure that it was made, maybe fall, or late summer. Because now that the weather is warming up, I'm not seeing lab coat with this. I'm actually seeing a summer wrap, a summer cover up. And as I'm going through everything and sorting all my patterns, my materials, I came across this cotton jersey that I had, and it was cut and pre-washed because I was going to make a dress out of it, a summer dress. And I'm excited because I have the Laundry Day tee, which I like this version. I'm not sure if I want the tank version or the short sleeve. And I don't know if you guys have seen Whitney from Tomcat Stitchery. She has made this version in a blue and white stripe, and it looks fabulous on her, and she just raves about this pattern. So I thought I could make either this one or the tank out of this cotton jersey, which, as I said, I had already cut the length, 2.5 meters or 2.5 yards. I pre-washed it. It's ready to go. I just never got around to sewing anything. And I think it would look fine with this jacket if I finish it. Because again, I need to do the pockets. I'm going to go ahead and do the welt pockets that were originally with it, hem the sleeves, tack down the facing. And I think this would be just a fine little summer outfit. Again, something you could wear to the movies, or again, just out to dinner with my husband or something. So this is kind of like, PhD number 2. And then my last one that I'm working on is that I had made these shorts. And I don't know if I ever showed them to you. I think I showed you the pattern. It's this McCall's Easy pattern. And I'd wanted to make this one B because of the pocket detail. And it's kind of a shame because this is a double gauze that I got from Merchant & Mills. And you really cannot see the pocket detail on it just because of the fabric and the color. But I like the way these shorts fit, and my intent when I made these with double gauze, and why I bought the double gauze, it's from, did I tell you it was from Merchant & Mills? Why I bought the double gauze in the first place is I thought that they would make a comfortable pair of pajamas in the summertime. Because oftentimes, especially late July and August, it gets super, super warm, and some nights it's so warm I literally sleep on top of the bed. I don't even have a sheet on me. We have the windows open, or sometimes we don't even have the windows open. We have them closed and we still have the air on, like at, 12 midnight and all. So I thought a pair of pajamas made out of a nice cotton double gauze would be very comfortable. So I got the shorts made, and I actually do like this pattern. I was surprised because, it's one of those easy ones, but for some reason, the crotch curve, the crotch length, the rise, it just seems to fit really well. And I found these, they were like buried, in a box of scraps or fabric that I had set aside. And in cleaning out my sewing room, I found these. And I've actually been wearing them to bed the last 2 nights, and they are comfortable. And then I found also with them the extra material that I had to make the top. And so I think I have like a meter. And what the original plan was, it's not a pajama pattern at all, but I do like the Merchant and Mills. It's from their workbook. There you go. Their Bantam vest. And it's just a racerback vest. And it's really one of my favorite summer patterns to make. I've made like probably 4 of them last year. I'm not, within the last 2 or 3 years, I probably made 4 or 5 of these. So the goal was to make a pair of pajamas out of these. So by finishing this, I'm going to get rid of this, 1 yard scrap. I don't want to call it a scrap, but this 1 yard of fabric. Then it'll go with the shorts, and then I'll have my summer pajamas. So those are the 3-4 things that I have planned for, finishing my PhD kind of projects have done. So let me know in the comments if you have any UFOs or PhDs, and if you think that I have motivated you to pull them out and just power through whatever it is, because it really will give you a sense of accomplishment and give you a little bit of confidence too, in that you tackled whatever had made you stop. At least that's how it worked for me. So, as far as life goes, let me see. Well, I did get my biopsy results today, and the bad news is I have cancer, but the good news is I don't have cancer. So I guess the cells that they did the biopsy from, he said he talked with the pathologist, and even the pathologist had to look at it, and she was really not sure. Is it cancer? Is it pre-cancer? I mean, it was that close. And so what he calls it is like a micro, I think he called it like a micro cancer. And he said I could go the chemo radiation route, but kind of felt that wasn't necessary. So we're just going to go ahead and treat the cells, the bad cells, get them taken care of, and just monitor, pretty regularly. Like every 3 months I'll go down there and get checked just to make sure. And then if it happens to be a little bit more than just these little pre-cancer cells, then we will go ahead and address it. But he's pretty confident that we can just take care of it that way. And then I guess as far as life goes too, I got a new pair of scissors. These are Guggenheim scissors. Not affiliated with them in any way, and to tell you the reason I got them is my husband saw like an ad and they were half price, and I had actually dropped and busted my scissors, and I tried putting them together, and even though I could get a screw and put them together, something must have happened when I dropped them, because it's like it kind of stopped cutting like right here. So yeah, I damaged them, so I needed a new pair of scissors. I still think I might get those sharpened and, I don't know, see if I can fix them or something. But, that's all the news I have for now. I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I will see you soon. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.